Welcome back to Some Offense Intended. I'm Jeremy Robinson.
I'm Mike Mick.
So I started curing the whiskey cask, the mini barrel coat, whatever you call it.
Yes.
I think it's a cask.
Cask, yes.
So I was reading the instructions because Mike was telling me, he's like, yeah, you can age it for 10 days. I'm sure the website said that. The book says to age it between 14 days and 4 months.
I think we'll go closer to 14 days than 4 months.
It also says, like, you can put whatever you want in there, but it recommends, they call it white whiskey. It's moonshine. So that it's flavorless alcohol so that you can introduce flavors of bourbon and smoke and whatever. So I don't remember, like the cheap Kirkland, it was like $20 for the bottle.
Yeah.
Some kind of bourbon, Kentucky.
Bourbon has to be made in Kentucky.
It doesn't say it's aged. So, because there was a bunch of other ones, I'm like, I'm gonna get this, and it's already cask aged, and I'm like, okay, let's not get that.
Yeah.
So I found one that isn't cask aged. So, I think the cask has to cure for like 3 days with the hot water in it.
Yeah.
Because it swells up everything and stops leaking, and I accidentally put the spout in a little bit crooked, but we'll live.
I figured that it had to get because wood expands when it gets wet.
Yeah. Yeah, so I knocked the spout in, and then once it swells, it's permanent.
But when it comes to bourbon, technically to be a bourbon, it has to be from Bourbon, Kentucky, from the county of Bourbon, Kentucky. Every time I tell that to people, they're like, "Oh, whatever, no way." But then I came to say to them, it's not really Champagne unless it's from the Champagne region of France, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." Yeah.
I knew something had to be from somewhere in Kentucky. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's bourbon. Yeah, if you notice, Tennessee whiskey isn't called bourbon because it's from Tennessee.
Oh, I just figured it was like
Lynchburg, Tennessee.
Port whiskey. Like there's different kinds of everything. That's different kinds of everything.
Yeah, but it's just that's.
Does it have to do with like location or like the wood that they use that's local to Kentucky? So like
I think they just started it there, and it's just their
get
location.
Some Kentucky trees and bring them over here to Nevada, and I'll start making Nevada bourbon.
And it'd be bourbon style whiskey.
See, if the requirement is that you age it in Kentucky tree barrels.
No, it has to be made in the location. That's what it said.
I need to read the fine print.
Because people in California make sparkling wine, but it's not champagne because it's not from the Champagne region. They can use the same techniques.
That's also California.
Well, there's other places.
But different things could have different restrictions. So
Ohio can have.
I'll have to read up on
some sparkling wine.
I'll have to read up on what's required. But Mike was talking about, he's like, no, it did say 10 minutes. I'm like, I believe that. Just
10 days, not 10 minutes.
10 days.
10 minutes would have been nice.
Yeah. Like, okay, we're done. But no, it's just like, oh, it's between $5 and $10,000. It's like, yeah, but it's probably like $8,000.
Yeah.
Like, just because it's closer to $5 than $100,000 doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
And then Mike said something about like $4.99 because people think I have had several.
It's under $5.
Let me put my phone on silent. What an asshole.
Let me check mine.
So I had a roommate in Arizona when I was going to school. His name was Ben. And that's that could be a podcast by itself, just talking about Ben and the dumb shit that he did. One of the dumbest things was, well, it's on sale. Like, we go food shopping. He would often shop at a gas station.
Yeah.
Of like buy chips and sodas and whatever at a gas station shopping for the week.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, why don't you just go with me to the grocery store and you get way better price? He goes, no, but it says it's on sale. Like, so this is a good deal. Just because it says the words on sale doesn't mean anything.
No.
At all. Often it might not even be a different price. It just says on sale.
Mm-hmm. And it works too.
I was talking with the corporate guys when I was living in Phoenix, when I worked at Best Buy. I was talking with the corporate guys before Black Friday of, hey, like, so have you guys ever experimented? Are you allowed to experiment with prices? And they're like, what are you talking about? I was like, well, so these TVs are normally $4.99. How about you try something, you have 10 of them, and you say it's on sale, Black Friday sale, $6.99 a piece and see how fast they fly off the shelves. If they don't, mark them back down. Like, actually put them on sale. But I think just because it says Black Friday sale, people lose their fucking minds and buy them. And they looked at me like I was speaking a different language at first. And after I explained everything, they're like, that makes a lot of sense. And you work in the warehouse? I was like, I mean, if you guys need somebody else. Had a good laugh. They laughed a little too hard at that joke.
Yeah, but that kind of thing does work. Yeah, because people see that word sale, and it's like, and people are conditioned to believe that if it says sale, that must be good.
It blows their mind because like one of the other issues with Ben is, he was on Social Security or disability or something because he had a lot of issues. That came out weird. That's not why I had a problem with him. So he got like food stamps or WIC or not WIC because that's women, single children. Parents. Yeah. So he had food stamps, and I guess the ones he had expired after a certain period of time, like you can only use them this month or whatever. So he would let like half of them at least every month expire, as opposed to like buy stuff for the roommates or like bro, I'll still kick you money. Like, let me know how much you want. Like, you spend cash, whatever. He would rather let them expire than buy a little bit of extra food. Like, not even saying shop for the whole apartment.
Yeah.
Like, buy some burgers and we'll cook out. And he wouldn't. Like, that's wild. Like, now I can understand maybe why you shop at a gas station, because you want to spend most of it that you can. But it doesn't make sense.
I'd go to a grocery store and I would get a lot of it.
And load up.
I'd use it all. I wouldn't let it.
Yeah, you load up.
Yeah.
And that's, so there was a whole lot of, I don't feel like getting into it.
I've run across people, though, with their food stamps, with the way it used to be. Actually, with the way it is now, too. Be at a grocery store and be like, I'll use my, I think it's called EBT now.
Yeah.
I'll use my EBT to pay for your groceries. You just give me this much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they take the cash.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, in some cases, it's, you can't buy drugs with
Well, you also can't buy alcohol, cigarettes. I feel like there's more on the list, but there's.
I worked at a place, so I worked at a grocery store, and somebody came through the line and had she had WIC, which it does mean, like I said, women and infant children.
Yeah.
So she came through and she's trying to put all the stuff up there, and this cart was packed with had some things for the kid, because that's what it's for, is to get things for the kid. And I
think diapers and a bunch of other stuff qualifies,
like milk, formula.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of things, but there's some peanut butter, some other foods, just basically groceries.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was listed like you'd have a receipt for each one that you would be getting, and she had in there generic cigarettes, generic beer. She had all sorts of things that are just not accepted. And she was so mad. She's
$22 of what you had in your cart is WIC approved.
And she was, if that was. She was arguing about it. And she's like, well, the other stores let me do it. Well, I guess you're going to have to go to the other stores.
Yeah. And
like, nobody does that because it's illegal.
No, they don't.
So
it's illegal to sell them, too. Like, to sell your food stamps, like pay for somebody else's and get cash back.
But she left. And that day, I did reverse grocery shopping. Had to push the cart back through the aisles and put the stuff back.
Yeah, go backs were the best part about retail.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it was a time killer for one thing.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I was at a grocery store recently, and I saw this person. She had this little dog sitting next to her, like just standing there staring at her, wanting attention. No leash on the thing or anything, just in the parking lot. And then they're standing in the shade. I guess they're waiting for somebody, but their groceries are in direct sunlight. Like, the sunlight is going directly on her milk and everything else. I'm like,
maybe she's trying to make yogurt on the way home.
Maybe.
You don't know.
Yeah. I'm out of yogurt. I need to pick some up.
Yeah, second favorite thing about working retail was cleaning up the everything.
See,
when I worked retail.
Working in the grocery store, one of the things I liked doing was the floor sweep. You take the big dust mop and you go through every single aisle. Yeah, that was good, because that was another time killer. It kept me from having, especially in the winter, because I had to carry groceries out to people's cars.
Oh, I was gonna say, or get carts.
Yeah, we didn't have to go out and get carts because we brought them back in. People weren't
Well,
allowed to leave that store with their own cart.
Oh, okay.
It was
I get it now. So you have to. I thought you meant like if they needed help.
no,
Okay, I
no.
got
We
it.
did it for everybody. We actually had this thing called customer service.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Most places don't know.
See, I was a utility clerk at Food for Less, which meant store bitch. It was like so we did the store sweep, which I liked that it was a time killer, but often it was like this is too inefficient, so I got two, so I could do every aisle in one walk and not have to go up and down one aisle and then up and down the next.
Yeah.
So I cut the time in half.
See, you killed my time killer right there.
Well, I'm inefficient at wasting time. I'm sorry.
I worked at a Food for Less also, but I worked in the produce department.
I did. I rarely helped with produce. I helped with like restock the milk cooler. I helped a couple of the guys in the back like restack whatever boxes that. I think the guy that used the forklift was drunk almost all the time.
Yeah.
Because there was semi-often that he would take out pallets. Like he was trying to cut a corner to go back to the warehouse, and he would just take out like half a pallet.
Damn.
So have to help clean all that up. And then like anything that's leaking, you go put in the back in the mop room where there's no cameras. And then you can just drink the rest of the wine coolers and whatever else was spilled. I mean, obviously not the broken ones. You just open it, and then when you're done, like shatter it a little bit. Everything else is broken right here. We're like, yeah, just they were all empty and broken. So
yeah, well, I guess it makes it. He wanted to challenge himself. He didn't want to just because you drive sober, you're not going to hit things.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm going to see how many things I don't hit when I'm drunk driving it.
Back to the sale thing. There's also a couple people I know that they're like, I like shopping at Costco.
Yeah, me too.
Just because it's Costco and just because it's bulk also doesn't make it a good deal.
No.
And there is someone I know that's vehemently against that. That because it's Costco, because it's bulk, it's guaranteed to be a good deal.
No, it's absolutely not.
100% it's not.
No.
Like there's a couple things I'll get there. Toilet paper, paper towels, like the big items.
Mm-hmm. Usually you can get good deals on those.
They have really good quality of meat. So like if they have a really good sale, which isn't often.
Yeah.
But when they have a really good sale on meat, like I'll get meat there. Other than that, like oil, a couple of random stuff that's just regular stuff. Like meats and everything else, I'll get either at Safeway when they have a killer sale.
Yeah, Safeway has good
or
meat when they have a
Winco
good sale too.
Because Winco normally has good prices.
Yeah, they do.
Most of the time. If Smith's and Safeway don't have a sale, I'll get a Winco to get meat.
Mm-hmm.
But this person, all the time, swears up and down by Costco. Oh, well, I got cash back because of my membership card and this and that. I'm like, great. It still didn't make it a good deal.
No. There's some things that I get at Costco. Like sometimes when I pick up Uncrustables, I'll get them there. But that's mostly just because it's such a big box.
Yeah.
And it'll last me a long time.
Well,
I'm not saying it's the best deal. It's just...
Well, with how expensive Uncrustables are, that probably is the best deal.
Oh, it really is.
Getting like 30 of them at a time, and it bumps it down like 20 cents less a piece.
Yeah. Which I haven't bought any of those in a while.
Paying $3 to $4 a pound for some type of chicken, whether it's chicken breast or chicken thighs or whatever, is not a good deal. Like, I don't like paying more than like $1.20 for chicken quarters, like thighs and drumsticks, or like $2 a pound for boneless, skinless chicken breast. Anything more than that, I'm not buying it because that's beef prices.
See, me, I don't even want thighs and wings or legs.
So I don't buy chicken wings. There's the meat to bone weight ratio isn't okay with me.
No, me either. But I don't like wings at all. Like I don't even eat buffalo wings or any of that. I don't go to Buffalo Wild Wings. I don't
do it on purpose, but if other people go there, I'll go with them.
And like if I go to Buffalo Wild Wings, which I haven't been to one in a long time, I'm getting their buffalo chips with salt vinegar.
I just went when I was in Vegas. You want to hear that story?
Which one did you go to?
It was awful. Horizon and Horizon.
Oh yeah, I've been to that one.
Jesus Christ. So we sat down and we ordered. My brother got there before I did and his family. And they waited like 5-something minutes to get seated. And there's only like 2 or 3 tables taken up. So like there's not really a reason that anybody can see. Maybe there's something else.
Well, the host might have been on social media. Give her a break.
So it takes them a while to sit them down. So I get there, then I sit down. She comes and takes our order, gives us the drinks. 20 something minutes goes by, comes back. I'm so sorry. I put the order in and it printed out and just did, and then it only got the mozzarella sticks, and I didn't get any of the rest of the order on the printout. So she had to retake our order after like 20 or 30 minutes.
Wow. She took a while to figure that out.
Yeah. And then she goes back, and that's, if you print it out, like it's still in the computer, you just reprint it. So she forgot it, threw her notepad away or something. Who the fuck knows?
She might have lost it. I've actually lost an order form before.
So she goes and does that. And then another like 20 or 30 minutes passes, and she's not even checking on us for drinks. So like 2 of the drinks are empty. We don't have anything still. It's just about an hour since we sat down, like 40 minutes since we ordered the first time. And the kids get their food. 2 kids, 2 meals. That's it. And so the kids eat. They're done eating. The mozzarella sticks came like 5 minutes before the kids' food did. And then she comes back and she's like, oh, you guys still don't have your... the kitchen and the cooks and just blaming everybody.
Yeah, that's standard operating procedure.
So then another like 15 minutes passes. So by the time... it took us like an hour and 45 minutes from sit down to leave. That should have been like a 30, 40-minute deal. So it was like an hour extra. And so finally they start walking over with this tray of, because it was Thursday, they had the buy one, get one boneless. And this guy comes walking over with a tray of wings, and it's one flavor is correct and one flavor is not.
Yeah.
Because the new flavors they have is General Tso's and chili lime. It's on the menu at the back of the table. So he goes, okay, here's this one. I'm like, I didn't order that. Nobody ordered that. Like the General Tso's, yes. I got General Tso's and something else. My brother got General Tso's and a different one. And his wife got something else. So he's like, so he goes back to the kitchen. And like 8-10 minutes later, they bring out my brother's only. So now there's still 2 adults left.
Yeah.
Then like 5-10 minutes later, they bring out mine. And they're like, okay, like, is everything good? Like, no, you still forgot hers. Oh, I'll have to go back to the kitchen. Goes back to the kitchen and then finds it. And this is dumb on Buffalo Wild Wings' part. They have a flavor called mild with an M. They also have a flavor now called wild with a W.
Yeah, they've had wild for a while.
That's fucking dumb. Because if someone can't hear, like our server...
Yeah, they're going to get the wrong
so
one.
they come out, and she got 2 different flavors. The other one was correct, and then she got mild, not wild. And they're like, is this okay? And she like kind of, yeah. So they walk off. She's like, yeah, I didn't order mild. And my brother's like, well, do you want me to tell him? She goes, no, I don't care. I just want to eat. So finally, we all are eating. And we never even got the celery or the carrots. And it took them another like 4 minutes to go get ranch.
Wow.
And then after we were done eating, still, I think he got 1 refill. My brother went to the bar to get to-go boxes because she never came and checked on us.
Yeah, that's important to check on people. I can't stress that enough.
As my brother gets back, and he's like, he's about to say, like, he's breathing in to say, hey, can we get the check? Because, like, we've all gone to the bathroom, washed, like, everything. We already have our stuff in to-go boxes, and she's still just over on the server computer on the other side, just typing. Not really. There was nobody cleaning tables. There was nobody helping other people. Like, it was a wild time.
Yeah, the one I worked at, you'd see sections that were just dirty tables.
And then the funniest part, so my brother comes back from the bathroom, and he's breathing in to say, like, hey, can I have the check? And she goes, oh, I'll go get you the check right now. So my brother asks it anyway because he already started asking it.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. So she comes back over with the check, and he puts his hand out, and like, okay, like, you know, put the check right here in my hand, like waiting to grab the check. And she like tries to avoid his hand on the way down, and like just puts it on the table, like right under his hand. And then she walks off. Like my brother already had the card out, like, and then she walked off. So he's like, what? And I'm like, why did she not want to put it in your hand?
People just don't really want to do that. But normally when I would bring a check to a table, it'd be in a check presenter.
They didn't have that either.
And I would stand it. I always like to set it down, standing it up.
Yeah.
So then when it's not standing up anymore, I know the people have done something to it. So I'm walking by. But I mean, if the person has their card out, obviously I'm just going to take the card.
Well, I was trying to remember, because sometimes I'll normally do it the opposite. Often they'll like, here's your check, take your time. And then I'll stand it up with my card in it. So,
see, in your case, what the manager should have said is, yeah, we've gone ahead and comped your meal.
No, and they didn't take anything off.
Yeah, they
like we didn't talk to them about it. We didn't like that's whatever. We were expecting to pay, but like I don't know if there was a manager there, because I feel like a manager would have come around and talked to people.
Yeah, they're supposed to go to tables, see how everything's going. That's not just Buffalo Wild Wings. That's like every restaurant.
There was also, because I could see like right into the kitchen where the to-go orders were getting made. There was also like 6 people waiting for to-go orders.
Yeah.
They had like, I think 8 different dishes on the counter under the warmer, and there was like 6 people standing around on the not cook side, on the server whatever side, all just like trying to argue about which one they're going to pick up, and then they didn't pick any of them up. Like it was just a massive shit show the whole visit.
Well, like I've said in the past, Buffalo Wild Wings is one of the worst jobs I ever had.
Yeah,
I hated it. It was like we didn't even have dishwashers. Like we had to take care of running the stuff through. Now, keep in mind, Buffalo Wild Wings doesn't actually have a lot of dishes. It's not like Olive Garden or something.
Well, they don't have baskets anymore either. They have the metal trays now.
Yeah, but I mean, even that is not a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was awful. And
it's forks, glasses. The glasses, all the cups were like weirdly. I don't know if it was just watermarks or like there was nothing about it that was a good time.
But when I used to work there, though, people would be like this one guy in particular. I'll never forget him. He orders all this thing that comes with all these different types of things, and one of the things he wants with it is blazing wings. So I always warn people. I'm like, blazing. It's not like some places say, yeah, we've got this really spicy thing. Then you get it, and you're like, that's not spicy. But no, this is legitimately spicy.
Yeah.
So I would let him know, this is spicy. You're probably just warning you. He's like, no, I got it. I'm fine. I'm okay. Yeah. No, I can do this. So I order it for him. He's over there at his table. They finish their food. They leave in a hurry. Like they're not even that long eating.
He's just crying already, shitting.
You could see in his basket that he took like napkins and hid the fact that he couldn't eat the blazing wings. Like there was one bite out of a blazing wing,
like it was,
and then there was a napkin. It was covered.
Like it was all you can eat sushi, and he was going to get charged if there's extra.
Yeah, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, and there was other people that I'd warn them. I'd be like, yeah, this is really hot. Just letting you know. And they'd be, oh, we got this. And then the food would come out, and they'd call the manager. Yeah, this is too hot. It's called fucking blazing. What do you think of it?
And see, like that, I haven't had blazing in a long time. I've definitely had it a few times.
Well, it's got ever since they put the ghost pepper in there instead of what they used to have.
How long ago did they change that?
I don't remember. It was around the time I was working there, so it was around 2016.
Oh, yeah, I haven't had them since then.
Yeah, and because
I had them before then, and then Rounders, the bar in Vegas, had a spicy wing challenge, and those wings were fucking massive.
Yeah,
like it was like 2 or 3 of Buffalo Wild Wings wings put together, and that was actually spicy. Like Buffalo Blazing was but Rounders was very spicy.
They stepped it up, and plus, like the one I worked at, if you were to go in and sit down and be like, yeah, I got this. This is easy. Fuck this. Yeah, this won't do shit to me. I got this perfect. Those things aren't spicy.
The kitchen's running a betting pool on.
The kitchen will go back there, and they will do things that will make it even hotter. They will punish you for your insolence.
And we were making waiting jokes the whole time that we were sitting there for like the hour and a half.
Yeah.
Of like nobody in the kitchen looked like they knew anything, and then like I said, the server was blaming everybody except for like it's not her fault. They're short on cooks halfway through the issues. There was nobody else that came in. There's this, there's that. We're like, Like, bro, you got 7 fucking people standing there patting each other on the back, looking at cold dishes on the warming tray. Have them do something.
Yeah.
And then she finally started cleaning one of the tables, and then somebody that had been standing for like 10 minutes waiting to get seated goes up to her, "Excuse me, can I sit at this table?" Like at a clean table. And she goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry I didn't see you standing there."
She probably didn't want to clean the tables because she
Would have to sit people.
she would have to take more tables. And it was probably,
She was the only one.
I'm just saying, she was probably hoping to go home soon.
Oh, I don't know. But it was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah, trust me, I worked there. The one I worked at, I worked graveyard. And we would get large groups of people that had been at the club all night.
Yeah.
So they're already pretty drunk. And they've already spent a lot of money at the club. So you know they don't want to spend a lot of money. That's why they're at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Well, and then if you get a lot of people together, there's always the several people like, "Oh, no, we have cash. We'll pull it together." There's the 4 people that always, "No, I threw in." Like, then why are you $60 short?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we get separate checks? And this is, of course, after everybody's been sitting there for an hour and people have mixed up seats and they move around. And
Yeah.
and you're like, I'm supposed to remember which one. I'm supposed to know what you ordered. There's 12 of you.
It sounds like I might have been at the Buffalo Wild Wings that you worked at.
No. No, I was on the Strip.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
No, but it'd be like, because like when I take an order, I go to the table and I go by pivot points. So then if somebody needs a separate check, I know where they're sitting. I don't sit there and memorize what everybody has to eat because that's not my only table.
What do you mean pivot points?
I mean, I look at it like this. This is a table.
This is a table.
Let's say this. I said this is the table. Not a
okay.
table. Okay, so let's say you have the chairs around it and people are sitting at it. When I go up to this table, I'm going to go start here when I put down the order. It doesn't matter how I order, because I've already got the numbers written down. I could take this person's order first, but this position is getting written down in spot 1.
Oh,
That one's in
okay.
spot 2, that's spot 3, spot 4. So then, when I come back and I have 4 checks, I know
Right.
who had what.
That's a lot smarter than how I've seen a lot of, well, I haven't seen how anybody does it, but there's often when you split checks come back, who had the grilled cheese sandwich and the meh?
Yeah, I see. People don't like that. That's going to cut into your tip right there.
Yeah, that's just dumb.
You don't want to make people have to think, especially when they're already drunk.
Well, yeah.
But the best thing ever at Buffalo Wild Wings, when somebody would be so drunk that they pass out at the table. Because what we'd have to do is we'd have to get security. Security would have to come over and wake the person up, at least attempt to wake the person up.
Yeah.
If they could not wake the person up, that's when paramedics come. And that's when they get put onto a gurney. And that's when they're strapped to a gurney because they can't just put them on it because if they roll, they're going to fall right off.
Yeah.
All right, so they're strapped to the gurney and they're being pushed out the door. And that's when they wake up and realize that they're strapped to a gurney. And there's nothing better than seeing somebody who has no fucking idea what's going on suddenly find themselves being rolled out on a fucking gurney.
I bet someone will know what's going on. Yes, free meal.
A lot of times it happens before the food gets there.
Oh, I was going to say, follow me for more life hacks.
Yeah.
Just eat as much as you can at Buffalo Wild Wings and don't wake up.
Yeah, just sleep. Because they might be concerned that it might be the food that caused you to not wake up. But there was a couple times where somebody threw up at a table. One guy, he's sitting there and he gets upset and he turns his feet sideways. He has them hanging out into the aisle, and somebody brushed his shoe and oh God, he wanted to fight somebody. It's like, well, put your feet under the table. That's where they belong. You don't put them out you don't put them out in the walkway right before somebody's walking through. That's what that's for. It's for the servers to walk through and bring your food and your check and your drinks and all that. It's not for you to stretch out. No. Also, it's so you can get to the table. Yeah. Another one, she got upset. Oh, this was great. You're going to love this story. These people come in. I'm waiting on them. And these 2 women, they are obnoxious. Just so obnoxious. The things they were talking about, the way they were talking about things was just crazy. And then at one point, they get up and they go to the restroom.
Right.
So the 2 guys they were with, They got up. They didn't go to the restroom. They left. They had enough of them.
Wow.
So they come back, and these people, they order a lot of food. And I'm like, so what they're like, they're looking for the guys. The guys are gone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what happened to the guys? She's like, well, I don't know. We just met them tonight.
Like, oh, well.
They met them on this trip someplace, and they decided to go get something to eat together. Apparently, these guys realized that they were more work than it was worth.
Yeah. No,
So they just left.
You can take care of the check. Appreciate you.
So they got stuck with the check. And then they're like, well, we'll take everything to go now. And so we box everything up. Then they're complaining because obviously they don't want to have to pay for this entire amount.
Yeah.
They don't want to pay for this whole check, and they're getting mad, and then they're yelling. At one point, they did threaten to. This time it wasn't me getting threatened, because I've had a few of those. But no, they threatened to come back and quote, cut the manager's head off. The GM, they were going to come back and cut his head off. I don't know what it is with people in Vegas and threatening to cut people's heads off. Because when I was at the World Series of Poker, somebody came back, yelled at the floor supervisor, said he was going to cut his head off. And then when I was waiting tables at another place, and I was a trainer, somebody had gotten let go. They threatened to cut my head off. That's three. That's very specific.
Yeah, it's ridiculous too.
Yeah, I mean, somebody else said her and her boyfriend were going to come back and kill me one day. But they were all talk, obviously, because here I am. And then there was somebody else who got fired, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to go home, get my gun, and come back and shoot you.
Wow.
And I remember on him, I
have questions.
I said to him, see you soon. And I knew in my head, I was thinking, he's not going to get on the bus, ride the bus all the way to the bus stop near his home, get off the bus, go walk to his house, get his gun, go all the way back to the bus stop, wait for the bus. By the time he did all that, I was going to be home anyway.
I have questions, though.
Yeah.
So, not that I'm approving or suggesting anybody do anything. However, if you are going to commit a crime,
yes,
such as
this
assault
is not advice,
or harming someone,
yeah,
don't say it out loud first.
Don't say it out loud in front of a bunch of people, especially.
Yeah, because there's no words.
That makes you a person of interest.
Yeah, and it basically just solidifies if anything happens. Like, oh, yeah, there was motive. Everybody heard him say it.
Yeah. He was shot, and he said he was going to shoot him.
An assault and battery is technically, if I remember it correctly, assault is saying, I'm going to whoop your ass.
Yeah, and battery is the actual act of it,
yeah.
Yes.
So, I'm going to file assault charges. Like, technically, that's battery.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, people are very non-intelligent.
So I could have said so. I could have,
Yeah.
When he threatened to shoot me, I could have called to me and been like, hey, this guy.
Exactly.
But I didn't. And I saw him another day. And
like,
he was working someplace else, and it never
took
happened.
You a long time.
I'm still waiting. My shift ended. I had to go home. I saw him working someplace else, and he made a point of coming over and saying hi to me, asking me how I was doing and all that.
So I saw something that I had to take a screenshot of because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is this new invention that somebody came up with. It says Airseas, a spinoff of Airbus, has developed a giant kite. Remember that one. Giant kite that can be attached to cargo ships and help them reduce their fuel consumption and emissions. The kite, called Sea Wing, is a 1,000 square meter parafoil that can be deployed and retracted automatically by a control system. The system also optimizes the kite's position and speed according to wind conditions and a ship's route. It claims this company claims that Sea Wing can reduce fuel use by up to 20% and CO2 emissions by up to 80%. They've already signed a deal with Airbus to equip some of its ships with Sea Wing and plans to target other shipping companies in the future.
Are those called sails?
There you go. Somebody just reinvented fucking sails.
Sailboats, yeah.
To sell to companies that have ships with big-ass engines in them.
Good job.
Holy shit. Like, you don't have to reinvent a wheel. let's just go sell the wheel to someone.
Yeah. We got this round thing. It's going to make your cars and trucks go.
But there's no mast. Like it's just a kite that's like sailed off the front of the ship. I'm sure it's secured in more than just to the railing that Rose and Leo were holding on to. But it's just that way. I'm like, I don't know how that's going to be able to be controlled automatically or the positioning of it be controlled.
I don't know.
But there was a thing that we used to use, and by we I mean humanity, and by used to use I mean for probably 1,000-ish or more years.
Long time, yeah.
That are, like Mike said, sails.
Yeah.
It's large pieces of fabric that are attached to a mast that catch the wind, and you can control the direction of that by angling the mast and all the other pirate words and fucking whatever.
The mizzen mast.
Yeah, you have to batten down the hatches first, and then you can
hoist the mainsail.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
And then you control it that way. So we're back to fucking 900 AD.
Sweet.
Or like 1500 BC.
Except they had to control theirs manually.
You're still going to have to control this one manually. There's no fucking... Are they going to have a drone attached to it and you just remote control with a Logitech control?
Yes. Yeah. Or it's going to be... let's just put an Xbox controller in there.
Yeah. That would be better.
Push Y when you want to. Get a cheat code in there.
Just stick drag the kite, and it's just circling the ship, just dragging, doing donuts in the ocean. Yeah,
you got stick drift.
I don't understand how somebody could be like, oh, maybe it's a good idea. I don't know why they stopped doing them. I think they were doing hybrids for a while. There's some company that was doing like hybrid masts to sail to save fuel, because like obviously you're saving a lot.
Yeah.
Because the shipping lanes that are in place were the shipping lanes that I'm pretty sure have been used for a very long time.
Yes.
Because of the currents and the jet streams and wind, which are jet streams.
Yes.
So why they completely stopped using them altogether and didn't just use them as supplementary, I have no idea. But now there's a company about to make fucking probably billions of dollars for saying, hey, you remember that song in Mary Poppins? Let's do that on your boat.
I'm just picturing, though, they're about to set out to sail, and they got their Xbox controller, and then they realize, shit, it's out of batteries. Quick, run to Best Buy, grab some batteries so we can get the fuck out of here. Or they get stick drift, and they're like, how did we miss the mark? How did we miss our port by so much?
Yeah, I would really hope they do something that's like the winches with mounted controls that can't run out of battery.
Yeah, I would hope so. But for comedy purposes, it's sending somebody to the store to get batteries is funny.
Well, I mean, you could just Benjamin Franklin the kite.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll work.
You know how quick some storms come in?
Oh, yeah, they're coming quick.
How are they going to pull that in? That's the other thing of like...
I don't know how it retracts. I don't know.
In movies, too, of like, maybe it releases like the outers that's catching the wind, so it just leaves the center in, so it folds it, and then you can just reel it in. But it makes you think about, like, in movies, everybody, like, jumping behind enemy lines, and, like, we're stealth, and we're this, we're that. But you just jumped in with a parachute and just ripped the chute and then ran that way. You don't think somebody's going to see the parachute?
Oh, yeah, somebody's going to see the parachute. And if you deploy it too high, they're definitely going to see you.
Yeah.
And if you don't deploy it in time, though, you're also going to be a splat on the ground.
I mean when they hit the ground and they just take it off.
Oh, yeah, and it just flies behind them.
And it just whoosh. And I'm like, how is that stealth? Like, there's some that actually like catch it and like wrap it up and like hide it under a tree or like a bush. And I'm like, that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. Plus, I think they have some new technology with them now that they
auto retract.
Yeah,
I wouldn't trust that.
Oh, neither would I. Imagine you're stuck in a tree and it starts to auto retract.
I mean,
you're starting to go the wrong direction.
That would be better than being stuck in a tree. At least then you get to the branch.
But no, you're just going to be stuck higher up.
Yeah, at a branch.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully it actually gets you all the way to the branch.
I mean, you get
or you just get tangled up.
I mean, if you end up like a rotisserie chicken.
I don't think the U.S. actually parachutes in as much as they used to.
I think it depends on the team that does it. Like SEAL teams, I think do still most of the time.
I know I was talking to somebody that we both know that did some jumps, but he said that they don't really do it in action as much as they used to.
I mean, as a general military as a whole, no.
Yeah.
But like
So I mean, but like the SEALs, the special forces,
special teams, definitely.
Special teams, the punt unit.
Exactly. Yeah, the special forces of all the different branches, for sure, do a lot of jumps, whatever the fuck you want to call it, or water insertions.
They also use a lot of stealth helicopters to go in and take people out like Bin Laden. I want one of them stealth helicopters. That'd be nice.
I don't know how that can. I know there is one.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's several, but stealth helicopter. Have you heard of helicopter?
Yeah. Have you heard of stealth helicopter?
I think it sounds like a normal helicopter, I think.
No.
It's just like the best way to hide the sound of Velcro is you do it really fast. Just,
Yeah.
That's like stealth Velcro.
I was just going to say, what they do is they just play loud music over it as they're flying in.
Yeah. Like that's.
No, people are like, oh, that's just the neighbors.
Yeah, there's just a floating boombox coming by. I don't know what it could be.
There's somebody out there with a car stereo going. That's not to worry about. That's that one guy. In a Honda. He's always driving by.
But yeah, so sales. Why didn't we think of? I wonder if they are hiring for their sales.
Yeah, I think they probably are. So now we just need to look at things that have been made for a long time.
Exactly.
And look at how we can retro.
Reincorporate it into everyday life.
Yeah, retro things. I'm trying to think of things we could do to airplanes.
Like a rotary phone. Oh.
Yeah, well, rotary phone. There you go.
We could make a smoking part in the back of the plane.
There you go. That would cut down on I don't know what, but yeah, that would.
People breaking the FAA laws by tampering with the smoke detectors.
I was going to say no. That'd probably solve the problem of some of the temperament of some of the passengers.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Getting stuck on a plane, like, I enjoy nicotine. I don't think I have a massive temperamental issue. I mean, if everything goes wrong and like domino effect, maybe, but not as bad as I've seen a lot of people, like when they're without nicotine for longer than like 2 or 3 hours, it's wild.
See, I enjoy sitting on a plane and not being bothered and minding my own business. And my flight to Chicago, when I flew there from Vegas, this lady I was on the aisle seat. She was on the window. Her kid, of course, she puts in the middle. This kid cannot sit still. Is making a lot of noise, kicking its feet. I'm getting hit by this kid. And I did not hit it back.
I was going to say, just give it one of the stretches real quick. Just, and just pretend like you're sleeping.
I actually
like that's the noise it would make when you hit him in the head.
Yeah, exactly. I actually rented a movie on this flight because I just couldn't. I needed. So there I am. I'm watching this movie. I plugged in my own earphones, and like I said, I paid for this rental. This kid a couple times kicks my earbud, my plug-in out. I'm like. I paid for the whole movie. I didn't pay to have to fumble for my thing and try to plug it back in. But yeah, that was a long flight. And then the kid's ears popped on the way to fly.
Oh no!
Kid screaming the whole way down, and the flight attendants trying to give tips to help alleviate the discomfort so the kid won't be screaming. And the mother's like, "I know what's going on with my kid. I don't need you to tell me." And she's like, yeah,
okay, then fix it.
We're trying to help you fix it, There's nothing you can do. Go away. We can try to find a fucking door to open and see if the kid can fly.
So
you too.
The flight down to Vegas this time, or last week, 2 weeks ago, there was 3 children below, like between 1 and 4-ish, within the 4 rows in front of me, which wasn't terrible because I was definitely tired, so I slept most of the way there.
What airline did you fly?
Spirit.
I'm
going to be uncomfortable on any flight, so I might as well be uncomfortable.
Fortunately, it's only like an hour.
Yeah.
See, to Chicago, I was on Frontier.
And the way back up, somebody 2 rows behind me had a puppy. Like puppy of it's whining and yelping the whole flight. And I don't think I slept a bit on the way back.
Yeah.
So, like, I would much prefer kids over a puppy.
I'd rather have a puppy because at least I could go, hey, listen, can I play with your puppy? I'll quiet it. You know, I want nothing to do with the kid. Puppies are at least cute.
You can just do the kindergarten cop, the Arnold Schwarzenegger, grab a pencil. If you don't stop screwing around back there, this is what I'm going to do to you. And then snap the pencil.
I wanted them to just lock the kid in the bathroom.
Flush yourself out.
Yeah. He could play with the blue water. What kid wouldn't want to play in water?
I haven't seen an airplane with blue water
Well,
ever.
I have, but it's been a while. That's how they get the blue ice. Which brings me to Joe Dirt again.
That's where I figured it was.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, just lock the door. Just somebody hold the door shut and kid in there. He could scream all he wants. I wouldn't hear it. But I did watch a good one. I watched Horrible Bosses 2 on that flight.
I think I've seen it.
It's good. Well, the Horrible Bosses movie is great. Horrible Bosses 2 isn't really as good as the first one, but it's really good.
The first one's really good.
I like those movies. And Charlie Day was the writer.
That makes sense. That's definitely a lot of his humor, for sure.
Yes. I like him a lot. I like the fact that I've said it before on Always Sunny in Philadelphia. A lot of times when people are on a show, they get tired of being the nerdy one. They want their character to be, made out to be somewhat cool.
Yeah.
That 70s show did it with Fez. And there's nothing cool about Fez.
No.
Nothing. And then there was even Family Matters, the Urkel show. Even in there, he had 2 characters. There was Urkel and Stefan, Urkel. I mean, it's people don't want to play the nerd forever. Because they don't want to be typecast, which I get that. Because, but now I guess Jamal, the actor Urkel, he's big in the weed business.
Jaleel White.
Yeah, Jaleel. I couldn't think of it.
I could tell. I heard of Jamal.
I just started with a J. I couldn't remember. Jaleel. I used to watch that show. I liked it.
I used to watch
like
Family
Urkel.
Matters a lot. Yeah.
I liked Urkel. Urkel made the show.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That and just the weird, corny, like what was it, Progressive that started doing shit recently with the dad?
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Listen to your TV dad.
Your TV dad, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
They always
Urkel,
had that.
Urkel was like 70%, he was 30%. Everybody else was just like, I can't even think of their names or faces.
Well, the dad was Carl.
Yeah.
But he's also, when I see him, I think of Carl,
And
or
Die
I also
Hard.
Die Hard, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Die Hard, I love Die Hard.
Some old internet memes with him.
Yeah.
Carl on duty, black cop. Instead of Call of Duty, Black Ops.
Yeah. Got his Twinkies.
Yeah. Die Hard was a good movie. I need to go see the new Indiana Jones. I still haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. Maybe we should go see it next week.
I'm down. Either that or there's a couple other movies that I haven't seen. But I need to look up either on the Amazon stuff or see where it's at.
I at some point I want to see Insidious, Red Door.
I haven't seen any of them.
Those I've seen them all except that one. It's the newest one, so
Makes sense.
yeah, I want to see it. I guess it's the end of it. It's the last one.
Oh.
And I saw there was
They need to tell Vin Diesel and them how to do that.
the latest, yeah. Somebody needs to tell them what the word "the end" means. But apparently, speaking of Vin Diesel, this is great. Jason Momoa. I forgot what movie I was going to talk about. Jason Momoa. People were complaining. They're like, "You look at him. He's not in shape like he was for Aquaman. He looks like he's getting fat." And then I saw Jason Momoa go, "Hey, listen, I don't work out unless somebody's paying me to do it." And I'm like, "That's awesome.
That's great.
That is great."
So one of the things that he was doing when he was working out for Aquaman
Yeah.
is his dietitian restricted him from alcohol
Yeah.
like during that. So he would sneak a Guinness. Like I think he was saying he would sneak at least one Guinness a day.
Yeah.
And one of the times they were trying to shoot a scene, like his muscles weren't popping like how they should because he just worked out and like trying to get a pump, and nothing was working. And he looks at the director and he goes, "Do you trust me?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Somebody get me a fucking Guinness." So I think he chugged like two Guinnesses, which is like a lot of carbs, sugar, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of
Actually, surprisingly, Guinness
all
has.
of which feeds muscle.
Yeah.
So he was like 15 minutes after he chugged both of them. He goes, "We shot the scene and they kept that scene because it just made everything pop. Because he already had the pump, but it just wasn't there until he drank the both Guinnesses."
But if you read the carbs and calories and everything in Guinness, it's actually not nearly as high as a lot of things.
No, definitely not.
I like Guinness.
There's.
But I yell, "Somebody get me a Guinness right now," and it never fucking happens. I say it all the time. Not one brought to me.
Yeah.
If I go to work this week and I say, "Somebody bring me a Guinness right now," people are going to look at me like, "What the fuck do you, what?"
So I think before I went to Ireland, I think the last time I bought a Guinness was like 5 or 6 years prior to that. Like I haven't bought Guinness in a long time.
Prior to when you brought them back and we drank them, last time I had a Guinness was maybe a little more than a year. I drank a lot of Guinness one night.
Like I wouldn't mind getting it as often, but it's fucking expensive now too. Like I don't know when all this beer went from like sometimes they were close to $1 a beer to now a lot of them are like $2.50 a beer.
I know.
Like is that just a Reno thing? Is that a
Did you see that Coors has a new beer?
Nope.
I was tempted. I haven't bought beer in a long time, but I was curious.
The Coors Almost Light?
It's 4.6s. 4.6s. Some specialty. It's got like 4 different types in the 12-pack I saw, or 3 different types.
I'll have to look. Never heard of it.
Yeah, I happened to be walking near the beer aisle. I was on my way to something else, and I saw 4.6s.
Huh. I mean, it's been a long time since they've come out with something new.
Yeah.
They have Coors Banquet and Coors Light. And Coors. Like Bud nonstop comes out with everything.
Speaking of somebody coming out with something new, apparently Coca-Cola has what they call Coca-Cola Creations.
What?
They come out with a new flavor, a limited edition flavor every so often. Like they had a Starlight one. They had, I don't know them all, but they had one come out recently, and I just tried it yesterday. It's a Coca-Cola Ultimate.
That sounds dumb.
Yeah, it is. It has something to do with, it's a tie-in with League of Legends. So the flavor is supposed to be Coke with a taste of XP.
That is one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever heard.
It is really the dumbest thing. Now, the only reason, I don't buy Coca-Cola. I don't buy Coke products except Sprite.
Yeah.
So there I am. I happen to be going to Save Mart
with your hoodie on, hood up, like covering your face.
Yeah, I didn't want
carrying a Coke bottle.
I don't want people seeing me doing that. Yeah. No, but no. Every
now
week
you said it on here. You're not gonna get sponsored by Dr. Pepper for sure. Throw that bottle on the ground.
Dr. Pepper does not go on the ground. But so Save Mart had a thing. They do it every Friday. They give you something free.
Right.
So I always, if I'm in there, I'm going to go ahead and look and see what the coupon is. When I looked at the coupon, I saw it was a free Coke, so I thought, screw it, I'll try it. It sat in my refrigerator for a while. So I finally tried it, and it was not great. I don't know if it tastes like XP, because normally you can't taste experience points. I didn't level up or anything.
How do you know?
Trust me, I know. When you level up, you know. You get reinvigorated. A light goes around you.
Hear music play.
Yeah. I didn't level up.
I mean, there's been so many people that try to brand drinks with video games. And I feel like the first very memorable time was the last successful time in my eyes was Mountain Dew Game Fuel for Halo 3.
Well, I was going to say, at least, put something in there to make a download for it. There isn't even anything like that. It just, it doesn't even say anything about the game on it. The bottle doesn't have a picture of anything with the bottle at all.
Jesus.
Nothing. It just...
Yeah, make people an incentive, put a code in the cap.
Their press release is the only thing that tells you that this is tied in with that game. And then it tastes like XP.
That's...
So does League of Legends XP taste different from Call of Duty XP?
When it comes to Coca-Cola. And that's the other thing, is like you can flavor Coke whatever you want to. It's still going to taste like Coca-Cola.
See, the thing is like Pepsi, they came out with a couple limited edition things. They came out with a black cherry Pepsi.
The black cherry Pepsi was really good. It was
awesome. And of course, they haven't done anything to bring it back. I've sent things on Twitter all the time. Come on, bring it back.
Well, I mean, they have
a couple people responded, Coke. Told me that they, when they knew it was coming to the end, they prepped. They stockpiled.
Like the cherry Pepsi, cherry Coke, those are pretty good, but...
See, I don't like cherry Coke.
I mean, cherry Pepsi's better.
I don't like either, to be honest. Like, it's at work, every once in a while when I was drinking Pepsi, I'd try to buy Pepsi and be out.
Yeah.
And I'd say to somebody, yeah, they're out of Pepsi. No, they got Pepsi. Cherry Pepsi. That's not Pepsi. That's cherry Pepsi. That's why it's got the word cherry in it.
Nah.
It's not the same.
No, it's not.
If you tell me there's cherry Dr. Pepper, there's not regular Dr. Pepper, that's not regular Dr. Pepper. Although I don't mind cherry Dr. Pepper, but when I'm in the mood for the original, I want the original.
Yeah.
I told somebody recently about the strawberry cream. The strawberry cream I don't like at all. And he's like, what's wrong with it? I'm like, well, first of all, Dr. Pepper's supposed to have 23 flavors. Strawberry cream is 25 flavors.
I thought you were going to say it's 2. Strawberry and cream. 21 flavors short.
Well, that's what Pib does.
What?
That's for Pib. Or Pib Extra. They've only got like 20, 21, 22 flavors. That's why it's not as good as Dr. Pepper.
I mean, Pib hits the spot a lot of times, though.
The doctor knows what to do. The doctor knows what's ailing you.
Dr. Thunder.
Dr. Thunder is actually pretty good.
Better than Mr. Pibb?
Yeah.
See, Mike's just going based off of the titles.
I'm going off the advanced degrees.
That's Titleist. And not like the golf company.
I was just going to say the golf company. I had those golf balls, but I usually went with TaylorMade. But, because I also had TaylorMade clubs. But, yeah, Dr. Pepper, I think it's the best. And I don't know if people noticed on last week's episode, because this will be
next week's.
Yeah.
This week's, whenever you're listening to it.
I had a Dr. Pepper shirt and a Dr. Pepper hat on.
Yep.
Dr.
That said something like, because I just won a pepper or something. I don't know.
I
don't remember.
I got it for rewards points, so it was free.
It matched.
Yeah, it matched. But I mean, I buy the Dr. Pepper anyway,
yeah.
So I just uploaded a couple of receipts. Then they sent me a hat.
That was a cool looking hat. Had a jumping fish on it.
Only took like 3 weeks.
That's better than the fucking whiskey cask took.
Yeah, and I paid for that.
So I'll have to set a timer for checking the water cure on the cask, because I'm definitely going to forget.
Yeah.
And then empty it out and funnel in whiskey, bourbon, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Because we're aging it outside of Kentucky, it's no longer bourbon.
Yep. Now it's bourbon.
According to Mike's rules.
Bourbon style.
No, then it's a whiskey blend.
Yes. Should have gotten 2 bourbons and we could have made a blended whiskey.
I mean, we can.
No, we don't need to do that.
You have the regular bourbon, and then we're going to have the aged bourbon. Then you mix them together, and there's blended.
There you go. Perfect. Canadian whiskeys are blended.
I don't think...
If you read the label.
Not all blendeds are Canadian, though.
No, but Canadian whiskeys are blended.
I don't know that I've read that many Canadian labels.
Crown Royal, Windsor, Canadian Club.
I don't know why I always forget that Crown is a Canadian whiskey.
That's the one if I drink whiskey, that's the one I usually drink more.
I used to drink Canadian Club a lot.
I used to drink Windsor.
I don't know what that is.
Canadian Windsor.
Oh.
Yeah, there's also... It's
Putting
whiskey.
Canadian in front of it's not going to help me know what it is.
It'll let you know that it's Canadian whiskey.
Oh.
It's made by the same company that makes Seagram 7, CC. They're all made the same.
Oh, okay.
But I used to drink Windsor and 7 or Windsor and Coke.
No, Windsor and Dr. Pepper?
No.
Disappointed.
Dr. Pepper deserves to be by itself.
I was going to say,
It doesn't need help.
I mean, you can, like, Black Velvet and Dr. Pepper taste just like Jack and Dr. Pepper. If you're mixing something with Dr. Pepper,
It's going to taste like
it's going to taste like Dr. Pepper, which is great.
Yes.
But you don't mix top shelf with Dr. Pepper. You mix bottom shelf with Dr. Pepper. Because then you can only pay like $15 for a handle.
Yeah. Well, there used to be a time that things like cognac were drank in a snifter. And now, like I just saw this video again recently, where these people are dancing in bra and panties with Hennessy in one hand and a Pepsi bottle in the other. She was thick. She seemed to really like her Hennessy, though. I don't like cognac, personally.
I think I might have had Hennessy like once or twice. But I don't remember, and I don't think I liked it.
I've had Hennessy. I've had a couple. I've had the other ones too, and I've even had the Louis Trey. That's
I think you told me about that one.
That one's stupid expensive. The bottle itself is expensive. It's made out of crystal.
Yeah, because it's real crystal.
Yeah, and they if you were to go to Caesar's Palace and order it on room service,
it's like $13,000 or some shit.
We couldn't be friends if you were to waste money like that on something like that. But they would send security with it to take it to your room.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah.
Well, Josh thinks his dad just blew his motor, so I'm gonna go help them look at something. So
Blew his motor.
We're at an hour. Yeah.
Before we go, I got one more joke to tell you.
Heard a bang on the freeway and it no go.
That's not good.
No.
But we were at this bar one night. It was called Hot Rod Grill. It used to be in Vegas. It's something else now.
Yeah.
But this guy, the bartender, he's fucking with us, and I didn't fall for it. He says, "Ever blow a tranny in your car?" And my friend's like, "No, but my roommate did." And he's like, "Yeah, he was going down the road," and the guy's like, "Well, how'd he see?" He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, if his head's down below the dash and he's driving." Yeah, his face went red when he.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Had to finish on a.
Oh yeah, on a something note.
We wanted to be upscale on that last joke.
I'll save that one for another time. Maybe I'll forget about it. That's fine. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Some Offense Intended. YouTube at Some Offense Intended. There's an @ symbol there. We might make a Threads. I don't know. There's a lot of social shit to catch up to and like start doing, and seems like a lot.
Yeah.
So, Josh, start doing videos. Goddammit.
Follow, like, subscribe, share,
and goodbye.